Everybody had a chance to share? Sounds like it. Okay, we're going to get back to hopefully wrap up your conversations. Awesome. Thank you, whoever that was. All right, I know I'm glad that you're all sharing your topic idea and getting feedback. I hate to stop you, but I want to keep it going, and hopefully you'll continue to share after this talk as well. All right, we've just got one last section, and it's on storytelling because, it's a really compelling way to engage an audience, but time and time again, if you've attended technical conferences, you've probably seen people get up there and they're like, I'm here to talk to you today about security, and here are my 3 agenda items, and this is what we're going to cover. And that's great, but imagine if the person got up on stage and instead said something like this. 6 months ago, we were under the worst attack possible. It was a DDoS, a distributed denial of service attack. It was our first, and we didn't know what to do. Well, I'm here today to talk to you about the 3 best practices that we put in place after we overcame the attack. Which one sounds better, A or B, right? Who do you want to stay and listen to, A or B, right? But over and over again, we always hear people get up and do A, right? Imagine what happens if you did B. Well, I can tell you when you do B, a couple things happen. 1, people come up and talk to you. 2, you start recruiting more people because they're like, wow, this person was really engaging. I wonder who else works there, right? So it's important to take the time to tell stories. Stories are a great way to engage our audience, but really what it is that it humanizes what we're working on. Because at the end of the day, technology is a bunch of bits and bytes and semiconductors, but what pulls us all together is understanding what somebody went through. It's, again, back to that experience. And so the way to pull people in and keep them interested is to take the time to tell a story. And you can still get to your agenda and all the points that you want to make. So it doesn't have to be something that's very long-winded. Now, that's one way of storytelling, right? A personal experience, but I know a lot of times people don't have that personal experience to draw from, or they don't feel comfortable sharing, and got to make sure that you're not violating any things that your company wouldn't want you to share. But another way to tell a story is to instead set up a situation and imagine, right? So let me give you an example of this again. You might get up on stage and say, I'm going to teach you today how to set up a GitHub account in 60 minutes or less. Okay, sure, that sounds interesting and slightly compelling, but let's try B, starting with imagine. So imagine that you're getting ready to apply for your first internship, and you don't have a GitHub account, and all of a sudden you get an email from a recruiter in your inbox saying, hey, I'd love to meet with you. Let's meet up in the next hour. You don't have a GitHub account, and you don't know what to do. Well, in today's talk, I'm going to show you how you can set up that GitHub account in 60 minutes flat and nail that interview. A or B, right? So you can set up a situation. It doesn't always have to be a personal experience. And so again, when we take the time to do this, we pull people in immediately, and then we can continue to layer upon that story as we continue our talk. So again, I want you guys to put this into practice. This will be the last exercise. I want you to take a moment to think about how you can craft a story around that project, around that topic. And it can either be a personal experience or it can be an imagined story. And then once you've done that, about 30 to 60 seconds, it doesn't have to be a long story, share it with the people at your table and get some feedback. All right? I'll give you another 10 minutes to do that.